don't know if you guys can hear it or not, but the birds are chirping outside. Spring has made it into the North Texas area. It's time for me to move out of that backpack where I'm carrying all those extra layers into a different pack. This is the time of year that, before it gets wickedly hot, that I'm doing most of my stomping and tromping out through the woods. So I'm looking for something that's a little more flexible that also doesn't have to have all that extra space in it. So today let's check out what I lovingly kind of call my Explorer's pack. Okay, so the pack that I'm moving into, this is the Helikon-Tex Foxtrot MK2. It looks like this on. It's just a butt style pack with H harness on it. Now I did make a couple changes. I have my first aid kit tethered up here. I added a couple little side pouches, one on either side, one larger, one smaller. I'm going to go through those two. And I did go through and add some Maxpedition shoulder pads for the straps, just to make them a little easier, because the straps that come on this one, they're thinner, not the most comfortable to wear if you put very much weight in it. This thing's not heavy. Everything in here gear wise is going to come in right at 15 pounds. So let's go jump in and take a look at it. We'll just cover all the stuff on the outside first. So down at the bottom, we've got the One Tigress Transformer Poncho Shelter. I'll throw a picture of this over here just so you guys can see that piece of it. This is a frequent flyer in most of my packs. I love this thing. Will it eventually wet through? Absolutely. But it's a quick, easy shelter. I like that the poncho covers me. And this time of year here in Texas, this is when we get all of our rain. So I always have this thing really close at hand. Up to the top of the pack, you've got the shock cord up here. I actually just keep a Shemagh up here. So I've got a little tensioner up here on the shock cord to keep stuff snug. I usually throw, this time of year, usually just a Shemagh up here. But if it gets a little cooler, if there's going to be a cool snap, I'll usually throw another layer or something up here instead. But it comes in pretty darn handy. The Shemagh gives you plenty of options. It's pretty versatile. I've done a video on about 5,000 different ways you can use this little piece of kit. And if you're not using one, if you're not checked it out, you should probably go do that. This is awesome. Now, if I have a complaint with this pack, it is that these cup holders on the side, the bottle holders, they're actually pretty darn short. I do like that they give you tensioners and stuff on the side. I've never lost stuff out of here, but they're a little shorter than I would like, but the bag itself is not that tall, so I guess that makes sense. Right, so I've got one well-used Kleen Kanteen up here. So I'm do all my water boiling. And then down inside here is just a metal cup. And moving over to the other side, I have the Grayl Geopress, and then this is also the Self-Reliance Outfitters Grayl Pathfinder cup here, the cook pot, and it sits inside here. So I like keeping those two nested together. And the shock cord up here is nice enough that I can tuck it over around my Grayl and tension that up, and it actually holds in really nicely and won't let it out here. When I get inside this little pouch, this keep over on the left, it is literally just one MRE down in here. That's all I use this pouch for, is just food. So I usually keep at least one MRE in here, fits nicely, and that's usually about all I'm carrying inside here. I'm not sure what this one is. Let's see. All right, so this is the beef ravioli with meat and textured soy protein sauce. That just sounds yummy. Moving around to the right side of this little pouch, there's a couple things in here. Flip it open. So first I have my compass, my MC2 on here with pace count beads and a whistle. Never venture out too far without that. And then I actually have just a little writing journal in here, so I've got stuff I can write down. This is actually a gift from my mother-in-law for Christmas. And then one little take down right in the rain pin. Hey, before I forget to mention, if you're enjoying this or interested about some of the gear, I'll throw links to each of the pieces, at least the ones that I can find, down in the description below for you guys to check out. Now up front, a couple other things. We have a little Anchor 10,000 milliamp battery pack with one cable in here. It'll charge all my C-style connectors. And that's all that's in there. I think I've got, I'm totally come over checking everything out. And then in here I just have a little bit of liquid IV. Pivoting around top of the H harness, this is, like I said, my first aid kit. I've got a tourniquet on the outside of it. This is just just a little handheld ham radio. More often than not, it's for me listening and picking up like NOAA stations and things like that, so I can monitor the weather. But it does come in handy if you need to kind of stay in contact with someone else that's out there with you. And then inside here, kind of a hodgepodge of lots of different stuff. Some eye flush, just some meds, mostly gauze, an Israeli, some gloves, tape, there's a chem light, a little bit of a pair of shears over here. Nothing too fancy, just some basic stuff. Okay, so that's covered everything that was either on the outside or in a pouch that was added onto it. So let's get into the larger pouch here. Also, there's zipper pulls. It's out there nice and easy to get your hands on, rubberized and sealed up. The zippers slide really easily. I've had this pack now for at least 3 or 4 years, if not longer. Use it a good little bit during the springtime, not so much later on in the year, but it seems to be a good fit for the springtime stuff when I'm just sort of beating around the woods. All right, let's see what's inside here. So I do tuck in here. This is the Esee Camplore, the PR4 model. Bought this knife. It's a nice little kind of out-of-the-box bushcraft knife. It doesn't come with that coating on the outside that most of the Esee knives do. It's got a nice crisp 90-degree spine on there for using it with a ferro rod. I really like this knife. And it comes with a really solid little sheath here. Have a Baco in here. I have a love-hate with saws. I go back and forth. Like, I really like the Silkies, but then I really like the Bacos too. I have never broken the tip off of a Baco, but I've broken the tip off of quite a few Silkies. Now, because this time of year, you're never really sure if it's going to be hot or cold around here. I do have a little Kijaro hammock in here. I picked these things up a while back. I actually bought several of them. I have them in a bunch of kits, and I've just got a pair of Dyneema straps. That's just tree straps that are tucked down in here. So this entire little hammock setup, obviously there's no tarp in here, but every bit of this is in here, and it's a little bit bigger than about softball size, but it weighs next to nothing, and it's nice in a pinch to get up off the ground and lay down and be able to stay cool if you need to. I use these little things quite frequently. I do have a set of the Sea to Summit utensils in here just in case I am taking food that does not have utensils in it. Sometimes I'll take out like the little Mountain House meals or like the little Knorr pasta packets or something and just cook those in my little cup over here. I also have a little SOL emergency Bivy in here. This is the small cheap one that makes you sweat and holds all your body heat in. But it is nice and compact, and I've slept in these down to some pretty cold temperatures, and they actually come in pretty darn handy. So I pretty much always have one of these in every bag I have. Then I also have just the Mylar survival tent that's in here. So this bag has a mesh pouch up front. This is where the utensils were actually tucked. So we'll zip it back up. And there's one up in the brain section up here too. And this is where I keep all of my fire stuff, which is literally just a Bic lighter, my go-to. So storm matches in here. I have one ferro rod on here. This is ours from the school. These things work pretty darn well. I like the strikers. I'm not sure where my partner found the strikers at, but these things definitely pick up and throw nice sparks. And then just one stick of fat wood with a little bit of jute on there. So I've got my tinder covered here. Now moving to the front, there's just a Velcro tear-off patch on here. And then it Velcros inside of here, which I do like. It seals this pocket up really nicely. And I keep a ton of stuff in here. So this is that little, it's not the spool tool. This is that, it's the ready rope stuff. It's the micro rope. It has a little cutter in there. It does have this little stowaway area up at the top, and this is where I keep extra matches down inside here. Comes in pretty handy. I like this. It's a lot smaller than the spool tool. It is a smaller gauge string on here. You could put bigger stuff on here, but I kind of like this little micro rope. It's been enough to hold doing what I need it to do. Get inside here. I've got my Nitecore NU25 rechargeable headlamp. I love this thing. Use this one a lot, and then I also use the Sunblessa clones of it. that have one of those style headlamps in pretty much every bag. I'll pull this out. So this would be my Swiss Army hiker model knife. So it's got most of the essentials on here. The one thing that it doesn't have on here that I do like a lot is the scissors. And actually, the one that I carry on my keychain in my pocket has the scissors. This one has got the screwdriver on it instead of the corkscrew right through here. The one I carry in my pocket's got the corkscrew on it. And I've got the little bitty ferro rod insert for it. But this one has a little whistle on here. This whistle does carry a little bitty secret compartment. I won't say, not really secret, but it's tucked away in here for all your contact information that you can put on there in case you're injured. Can't speak for yourself. And we also have the little GoalZero rechargeable, must be a rechargeable flashlight lantern. So you get lanterns, and you can dim it down if you just push and hold the button. It'll dim down to, you know, really next to nothing. I love this little flashlight. Usually I'll put this inside my shelters and stuff at night. Then I have one tube of adventure wipes. So these are the compressed toilet paper towelettes. You just pop these little things open, and it's kind of like a big wet wipe. And I do have one kind of pre-cut section of bank line for my ridge lines. So that would be in addition to this. So this would be extra stuff, but this is kind of my pre-set up ridge line. It's cut to, I think this is 25 feet. That's what I cut. And then last but not least, tucked inside here is my Motorola Defy. I actually leave it tucked right here. I know I can't reach it from in front of me because this is all hanging off my back, but I do like that I can turn it on, turn on the breadcrumb tracking, and just drop it out and close this back down, and it just rides behind here. And I know it can't go anywhere because it's tethered inside. And it's just kind of out of sight, out of mind. And I know if I actually need it, all I have to do is unhook the harness and swing it around, and it's right here. All right, so that's everything that I'm currently carrying inside here. You guys let me know if you see something that I'm just drastically missing here, but I think this is going to cover all the bases. Like I said, this comes in at about 15 pounds, and so far I seem to have pretty much everything I've needed in there. So let me know what you think. Okay, hopefully you found that beneficial. I've been using a similar setup to this, using that same pack now for about 3 years. The gear changes from year to year, kind of depending on what I've picked up and started to play around with, but I've really liked the setup. It's been working for me. Hopefully you picked up some good ideas in there that you can use as well if you're out stomping around in the woods like I do way too often. Enjoy it, and hopefully we'll see you out there next time.